there, it's Rosanne here from Chic Paint. I know firsthand how intimidating it can be to get started on a project, especially if you're new to furniture painting. I always find myself second guessing my color choices and worrying that it won't turn out the way I had in mind. It can be very easy to be hard on yourself, but I promise you with our easy to use products and tutorials, you can create beautiful furniture right in your own home. I realize you might be nervous to get started, but there's no need. We have lots of tutorials and tips to help you overcome your fears. Our retailers have some ideas for you as well to help you get started.
Hi, I'm Carrie Fraser from Reloving Furniture in Victoria, BC. We paint every day here at Reloving, and we love to share with you what we learn along the way. If you're new to furniture painting and maybe a little bit nervous, what I recommend you first do is go to the Country Chic website and take a look at some of the tutorials on video, take a look at some of the blog postings and learn what you can that way, and then look at your local retailer and take some workshops. At Reloving Furniture, our workshops are designed for you to be able to play with all the paint colors, layer all the different colors together, find out what you may want to use on your project, and learn a number of different techniques such as layering different colors. We also teach about using all the different color waxes because there's a load of different color waxes and you can get different effects, such as this one is the Devotion, and this is before wax and this is after using dark wax. So hands-on to be able to play with all the different products and learn what you might want to do with your first project at home, that is the best thing. Also, think about doing a small project at first, such as a tool tote, something like this, rather than attempting a dining room suite. Start with little successes and move on from there. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Dana Smith of Danes and Dobney in Wainwright, Alberta. I love painting furniture because I'm passionate about salvaging, and painting salvaged pieces gives you a sense of accomplishment that you've turned something rather discarded into something new and beautiful. I have to admit that when I'm painting, it can be quite therapeutic and I can get lost for hours in my own head. The best advice I have to give to someone who's new to painting or nervous about getting started would be to practice on some cheaper things first. Maybe practice on some old frames you have kicking around. Use a discontinued color that might be on sale at your local Country Chic Paint retailer. Or surely there's something that's kicking around that's destined for the landfill. You have nothing to lose. Give painting that a try.
Hi, I'm Julie Zielinski.
And I'm Stacy Farnbrook, and we're the Salvage Sisters and Company out of Omaha, Nebraska. We love painting furniture because it's an easy way to make a quick and dramatic transformation to an old piece of furniture. If you're new to furniture painting, I would suggest that you just buy a can and go for it. You really cannot mess up with this paint. Sometimes I get halfway through and think that I've ruined it, and I just keep going and it turns out amazing. My favorite pieces are the pieces that I did when I didn't know what I was doing.
If you've never tried painting furniture, I recommend that you start with Country Chic's all-in-one paint. This is a pint, and this would do a dresser size, probably with some left over. And the reason I recommend all-in-one and use it for all our beginner workshops is that it's very forgiving. It has a built-in primer and a matte finish, but it also adheres better than any other paint I've used, and it distresses better than any other paint I use. Most rewarding is at the end, if you do a light sand to your piece, it can feel like butter. That tactile experience is very rewarding. I also love that it's low VOC, and I think that's really important for our health and the health of our community, is to stick with paints that are no VOC and low VOC. So try it.
Hi, I'm Kate from Little City Farmhouse. If you're working on your first piece of furniture and you're a little nervous, my #1 tip would be to watch the tutorials on Country Chic's website. They'll walk you through every step of painting your furniture from beginning to end. You'll have no problems at all. My other tip would be to read the blog. You'll get lots of tips from other painters on what to do, how to do it from start to finish. Good luck.
Hi, my name is Danny Lever. I'm the owner of Best of What's Around in Fortville, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. The piece of advice that I find myself giving most often in this shop is that there's no wrong. In terms of there's no such thing as too much distressing or too little distressing. You can't use too many different colors. You can't choose the wrong color to match something that you have already in your home. It's just fun, and it's just one of those things that it comes down to. It's just personal preference. If you like that color, use that color and it'll work because you love it, and you'll be proud of the work that you've done, and you'll love the distressing that you've done. And what you do is something different than somebody else, and that's the best part about using this kind of paint, is that it's personal and that it's going to be yours and it's going to be beautiful.
I hope there were some helpful tips in there for you. Most of us have pieces at home that could use a new coat of paint, but perhaps you're looking for a particular piece of furniture to paint, but you don't know where to find it. Or maybe you've already found a beautiful piece, but you don't know if it's a good project to tackle. Here's some advice that might help you with your hunt.
I wanted to share with you one of my favorite places to find furniture to paint. I'm online a lot on local buy and sell groups. You find them on Facebook or places like Kijiji if you're in Canada. One of my absolute favorite places to find furniture to paint that's low cost is garage sales. So we're right in the middle of garage sale season here. The summer months are the best months here to find great pieces at a great price. So my favorite thing to do is just load up the kids, grab a girlfriend and a coffee, and spend a Friday afternoon or a Saturday out running around to garage sales picking up really great pieces.
We love to hunt for furniture pretty much anywhere. We look on Craigslist, we go to garage sales, estate sales, and sometimes we get lucky with a little curbside freebie, so you just never know.
Well, because we have a storefront, people tend to come to us, and there's a real richness of things that people are perhaps downsizing, and they're hoping that someone will relove them. And I think the nature of the name Reloving Furniture is that we get people every day, and we're happy to take those projects on. I think you could do the same thing. Once you get the word out to your friends and family that you're painting furniture, the furniture will come to you. Just let them know that lots of people have furniture waiting to be reloved.
When hunting for furniture, we always look for a good solid piece that doesn't necessarily need repairs done. We're not in the repairing business. So as long as it's solid, it has lots of character, pretty much we can find things anywhere.
There's 3 things we look for in a piece of furniture at Reloving Furniture. We like pieces to have longer legs, some elegance to them. We like them to have carvings or embellishments, such as this, something that we can work with our distressing, with waxing, with glazing. And we like it to have some uniqueness that is also functional, but something that will be really eye-catching for the public, because we're selling, of course. We want that unique furniture. But we can often take a plainer piece and make it really pop with color combinations, with the Country Chic image transfer. We can take a picture, an image, a photograph even, and put it onto a piece of furniture. We love to use the different glazes that they have to add depth to a piece. And we do things with waxes as well, and hardware. Some amazing hardware can change a piece. So you can start with something plain, an ugly duckling, and really make it something incredible. And that's half the fun, is the before and after pictures. So don't forget to take the before and after and celebrate. There's some things that you may want to avoid when you first start painting furniture, some things that make it harder to paint successfully, and that is when a piece has lots of oils in the wood, such as the mahogany piece here. It has lots of pinks that might come out, especially when you're painting in lighter colors. And in this case, there are steps you could take. You could shellac 1 or 2 coats first and then go ahead and paint. If you're still getting pink, shellac again. But that's a step that you may not want to take when you first start painting. The same goes for if a piece is got stains, like ink stains on a desk, or perhaps it's a little bit smelly from mold or from smokers, then you need to take the steps with shellac as well. And it's just nice to start with a nice clean piece. Also, if the pieces may be a little bit old and broken, such the drawers don't work really well, then it's tougher to feel really successful with a piece. So avoid maybe oily woods like mahogany, stained woods, and furniture that's maybe a little bit broken, and you will fast track your way to success.
What we hear a lot is that one of the toughest parts of getting started on a project is simply finding the time to do it. It can be very easy to put things off and leave unfinished projects forgotten in the garage. But our retailers have some suggestions to help you avoid that.
Finding time to paint can definitely be a challenge, especially if you have little ones at home or maybe you work full-time. I have 2 kids, but they go to school, so I paint full-time during the days. Oftentimes you can finish a project in an evening though if you don't have the days to do it. Country Chic paint dries really fast. They're all-in-one decor paint. Is your paint primer, top coat in one, so you don't even have to do any work after you're done painting it, unless you want to sand it. If you want to go the extra mile and put a top coat on the regular formula, you can often still get your project done in one evening, even an afternoon.
If you want to get started on painting your furniture at home and you don't feel you have the time, I suggest that you put it down into steps. So one evening you might do the preparation. You take off the hardware, you'll give it a light sanding, a vinegar water wash, and you're ready to go. The next evening, you might paint 1 or 2 coats and until you're fine with the coverage, and then leave it. And the evening after that, you might do a bit of distressing or put a top coat such as wax or tough coat and put the hardware back on, and you're done. And don't forget to take the before and after pictures. At Reloving Furniture, it usually takes a couple of hours to finish the average dresser. It's all about planning. If we plan out the piece and not just wing it, then we know, because we usually have 4 or 5 pieces or more going at a time, then we know that we can get it done in the best, most efficient time. So we look at a piece and we think about what kind of preparation it needs, what kind of cleaning and fixing it might need if we're putting new hardware on or painting the existing hardware, if it needs a coat or 2 of shellac to seal in oils or stains. And we know that's the prep. We've decided on the colors based on the style, based on the market, and maybe the color of the wood. And what kind of techniques? Does the piece ask us to distress it or keep a nice clean line? So we decide on that, or if we're going to use layers of colors or just one. And then the finish. Is it a high-use piece such as a tabletop or a kid's piece of furniture? If so, we'll tough coat it. Otherwise, we usually wax it, and we could use colored wax or plain. But we know that out ahead of time. We actually write it out. And at Reloving, if I've worked a little bit on a piece, and the next person comes in at the staff, they continue it, and we have lots of fun learning off each other like that. But it comes down to planning, and you could finish a dresser in only a couple of hours with proper planning.
A dresser usually takes us about 3 to 4 hours. That includes taking off all the hardware, painting it, putting all the hardware back on, sanding, buffing, waxing, done. 3 to 4 hours.
When it comes to finding time to paint, that's what we love about Country Chic Paint, is that it's non-toxic. We can paint inside. Oftentimes I paint when my kids are sleeping because it's quiet and I don't have to worry about all my little helpers.
We hope you'll find some helpful tips in these video segments to help give you the confidence to get started on your first or your next project. Make sure you stay tuned for our upcoming video on how to choose paint colors. If you liked this video, please leave us a comment or click the like button. We also encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming tutorials. To find out more about our products and where you can find them, please visit our website, countrychicpaint.com. And if you don't have a retailer near you, you can also order right online. Thank you so much for watching, and happy painting!